Caribbean Union. Today is July 23rd. Very, very special day. His Majesty Haile Selassie I's Earth Strong, a very, very powerful being on this earth. More than just talking, he was of action. So, I'm grateful to at least recognizing one of our ancient ones. Okay, so without further delay, I just want to give thanks for you who will be viewing this recording, because this is live right now. Go on our Facebook page, Umoja Caribbean Union Inc. It will be posted on our YouTube channel, UCU Umoja Caribbean Union, and newspaper is available on our website at www.ucu.webs.com, or on Facebook again, Umoja Caribbean Union Inc. departments, where you'll get July's newspaper. As the front page says, we have been puppets too long. It's time to release ourselves. All right. So this year, promoting, developing a healthy workforce, focus on self, family, and community. So I will dive in a little after I announce who our sponsors, advertisers are, and please let me say that the commentaries or views in our newspaper or on this broadcast is not necessarily associated with any of our sponsors or advertisers. So going straight to Royal Divine Solutions, mental wellness consultant Mary, also known as Aishiba. She is a mental wellness consultant, and as she states, always expect great possibilities, for it's up to you with the assistance of others to create your destiny. And she services all ages, subject areas: domestic violence, anger management, communication, mental health, parenting, self-esteem, behavioral. You can contact her at 757-344-4275. Again, 757-344-4275. Email her at empressaishiba@gmail.com. Then we have the Ethiopian World Federation, Local 553 King Street, Frederiksted, King Street. That's where the store and the headquarters is located. Store opens Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until, and Sundays, 12 noon until. So come out and see what's in store. You can also check out on Facebook at TEWFL5. Okay, that's the number 5. Untitled Trinity, where health is wealth. If you're looking for natural foods and natural drinks such as sea moss, passion fruit, raspberry, tamarind, cucumber, then check out Untitled Trinity in the West Side. Phone number 340-772-1414. Again, 340-772-1414. Be sure to call, especially he has been closed for a couple of days. That's Nigas, but hey, that's why I'm giving you his phone number before you look to just go there. Again, his phone number 340-772-1414. Next is Alma's, located at 53A King Street, Frederiksted, and that store provides oil, shea, and cocoa butter, natural deodorants and toothpaste, herbs, incenses, teas, and much more. You can phone 340-332-3557 or 340-473-4896. That's Alma's in Frederiksted. Now, if you're looking for a quiet place on island, that's on St. Croix, a one-bedroom apartment located mid-island for $75 a night, please contact Leona at 340-220-5133. Again, 340-220-5133. Next is Dominica Cargo Services, serving the Virgin Islands for over 20 years. Shipping packages from the Virgin Islands to Dominica and St. Lucia. No job is too big or too small. So for further information, please feel free to contact any of the following numbers. In St. Croix at 340-244-8562. Again, 340 340-244-8562. That's on the island of St. Croix. And in St. Thomas, 340-201-9366. 340-201-9366. We have Queen Bee's Grocery and Restaurant. Okay. Providing fresh, local, and down island produce, such as pickled meats for those hard to find goodies like cocoa, spice, nutmegs, arrowroot, foreign, turmeric, chichimar, worm medicine, castor oil, snake oils, iodex, and more. Check out Queen Bee's. Now for daily meals, breakfast and lunch, check out Queen Bee's Restaurant. Serving you mouth-watering meals, including sandwiches and ice cream, 7 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. Except the following days, okay? Sunday and Tuesday, they're closed, and open Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 6 a.m. and it varies on depending on what day it is. But stop by at the top of Williams Delight. It's a 2-story building, pinkish or peach looking. Phone number 340-226-3795. Again, 340-226-3795. That's Queen Bee's Grocery and Restaurant. Next is A Better Day LLC, where you will find various healthy meals, juice detox, that's right, and meal preparation. So this is where Dr. Micah McIntosh is located. McIntosh is located, and she has a diverse educational background in modern medicine, alternative healthcare, and business, with a mission to serve the Virgin Islands community and diaspora by making the origins of chronic illness easy to understand, healthy choices easy to make, healthy food easy to access, and creating sustainable systems to carry our health and economic transformation into the future. So she does so through her company, A Better Day LLC, and its subsidiaries, SexScienceSpirituality.com, which is an online health and lifestyle platform, and Food for Thought Village Farms, which is nonprofit. Check out the website at www.abetterdayllc.com, or you can go to the restaurant, which is located upstairs in the Beeston Hill Gym. They do offer delivery. Phone 340-778-8888, extension 3. So you can make an appointment and also visit the restaurant. That's A Better Day LLC. Next is Kemet's Garden, specializing in detail gardening and lawn care services, and providing organic chlorophyll juice. And you know what I mean with chlorophyll juice. It is the mean juice, alright? Meaning that it is healthy, it's great for your blood, so get that chlorophyll juice. Contact Kemet at 925-326-8255. Again, 925-326-8255. Next is Natty Graphics, home of Natty Garments. T-shirt printing for any occasion. And yes, they ship worldwide. So you can email your request or phone. So the email address is Natty, that's Natty graphics, spelled GRAPHIX, at gmail.com. Phone or text 407-505-7715. That is Natty Graphics. And let me just look at the time, because 4:28. I have a special guest, so I want to just hurry up and say what I need to say. Supporters and activities. Again, promoting, developing a healthy workforce. I want to give thanks to Ital in Paradise, located in Christiansted, serving vegetarian meals. Phone 340-713-4825. That's Ital in Paradise. Then Alkebulan Empress Sounds. You can visit them on Instagram at @Empress_Sounds, and they sometimes play at Serenity's Nest on Sundays. Then A&L Professional Billiards, give thanks to them too, located at 145 VI Corpland, St. Croix. They are open Wednesday through Sundays, okay, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. It is the #1 spot on island to play pool. And on the first and third Saturday, that's bingo night. Wednesday's karaoke night. Check them out on Facebook also and Instagram at STX Billiards. You can contact via phone at 340-220-5133. All right. So if you want to become a supporter, packages are available on our website at www.ucu.webs.com. You can also request a package by emailing umojacaribbeanunion@gmail.com. Our activities this year, focus areas, we have Freedom Fridays, which is the last Friday of the month, music, poetry, food, and much more. So come out and actually next Friday is the last Friday of July, so don't miss it. Gates open at 6 o'clock p.m. at Leaders Court. Nature remedies using air, water, fire, earths, okay? So different topics, interviews will be related to that. Workshops or presentations on improving relationships, health, and increasing wealth. Umoja Festival, December 26, 2022. So for updates, definitely tune into this page, Umoja Caribbean Union, on YouTube, UCU Umoja Caribbean Union, and yeah, so stay in tune. Now, I do apologize, last broadcast Saturday, yes, a lot of technical issues, but it was raining, and I'm not going to talk too much before it starts to rain. So, but I want my special guest to, come on, and he can do the talking, and hopefully at the end of it, then it could rain, okay? All right, so without further delay, my special guest here, and please introduce how you would like for people to know you as.
Uja and Umoja. My name is Lidj Mabrak. Some people know me as Khalil Simone. Cultural and I would say musical and also agricultural and botanical source of information. I give thanks for everyone under the sound and word, sound and power of our voice, and give thanks for giving heed and paying attention to what we're talking about. So what we're talking about today is cultural relevance and environmental restoration. Right? So it's a special day today. We know it as a day of personal liberation, a day of reflection, and our personal glory as a people. But also we have to keep in mind that there's also more to the story than has been told. We say these things all the time, so now we could talk about some of the other half of the story that's never been told. Okay, so like I said, today is a day of cultural relevance, cultural restoration. We want to know about ourselves, know who we are, what we are about, and what we're aiming to become. So we know part of this process is looking to our past, the concept of Sankofa. We look to our past in order to find our footsteps into the future. So, speaking on the topic of in the environment, because we always speak in terms of social history when we talk about our history, meaning as it relates to us as human beings. But we also have to keep in mind that environmentally, the things that men do have an impact and a relevance onto what's happening to us today. And so we also have to incorporate any solutions we come up with. We have to incorporate what's been done, the impact of what's been done to our environment. We know as a people what we've been through. We've been robbed, we've been raped, we've been defiled, we've been corrupted through slavery. Is the purpose of the purpose for doing that to us. But along the way, we also have to keep in mind that the environment, when I say the environment, I'm talking about the physical land, I'm talking about the spiritual environment as well, and also even as it relates to us culturally, the impact of what we're doing. We have to study the solution. So we know that during slavery we were robbed, we were raped, and we need to find our restitution and our restoration. So as it relates to the environment, we have to look into the history of what men have done here. For thousands of years, these islands exist in a balance, whereas the indigenous people live in a sustainable and holistic culture that they didn't see the environment as something to be exploited, right? And so because of this, over the millennia, the island was able to flourish and grow to the point that this island used to have rivers, it used to have streams, the environment was totally different to what we find today. So we have to find the reasons for this. So, like I say, these islands have existed for thousands of years in a balance. So anything that you do to throw off the balance, we have to study it and see what we can do to solve the problem. So we know, as it relates to even the Virgin Islands, part of the problem is that the first thing the Europeans did when they came to these islands, they saw the potential in terms of these islands were so flourishing and these islands were so abundant in vegetation, in terms of nature, in terms of everything you could talk about or think about as being abundant. These islands had it. Of course, they came with their exploitative mentality. You know, let's get straight to the point. They weren't interested in coming here to go to the beach like they are today. They were interested in exploiting these islands for the natural resources. So the first natural resources was the trees. Okay, if you notice, we're sitting under what we call the salmon tree or the rain tree. And that's important and relevant to what we're talking about, because it's because of the lack of these type of trees that were cut down during these days of slavery. And the reason why they were cut down, we know we have the proof of these, we have the evidence of these happenings. The reason why they were cut down, they would say, is because they're making room for their plantations, they're making also the environment safer for themselves, which that's a fallacy, because disease don't grow on trees. Okay, man is who brought the diseases. The real reason why they did these things, and what they did, to show you the lack of foresight. Like I said, these islands are in a delicate balance. There's a dry season and there's a rainy season. That has always been. What they did is that during the dry seasons, they would make a concerted effort to go throughout the islands and cut down the forest, cut down the vegetation, transforming the island to produce in the way they wanted to produce. You see? And let's get straight to the point. They were interested in sugar and rum. Okay? The first resources of the trees after that was dried up after cutting all the forest down, because we're in a small island, we have limited resources here. So they had to find something, and sugar is what they found. They planted these islands, as I would say, really raped these islands in the botanical sense, because the trees and the plants and the shrubs that they introduced here are not conducive to the environment, as we could see the impact of it today. These islands, even when I was growing up, I could remember there was times when these islands, they would have rain, and the rain would be for days. You know, when you know it was raining, it was really raining. You don't have that nowadays. As a matter of fact, you have this phenomenon where you have rain in one part of the island. It's really ridiculous if you think about it. Rain in one part of the island, and in other parts of the island you don't have rain. Anybody who's lived here for the past 20 years I definitely observed this. So I'm saying this is not natural. This is something that's never been. This is something that is because of the impact of man and the environment. So okay, we know the problem, so let's find some solutions. Because just like we need restoration for ourselves socially and culturally, we also need restoration for ourselves environmentally. So this is the point of this is the topic. So how do we do this? It's not as easy as we think, but then again, like I say, the concept of Sankofa is something we use for cultural restoration. It's something we use to find purpose and foresight. So we could use the same concepts and apply it to our environmental restoration as well. Look to the past, or look to what's been, what was destroyed, and in order to make room for what they wanted. Like I said, what they wanted was not necessarily what was productive or conducive to the island's health. It was only for one purpose, which is their wealth. They made their wealth and gone. Now they left with this island in a state of shock. Just like any victim that's never received therapy, has never received restoration, has never received any type of restitution. The island is in a state of shock. So what are we going to do to restore? Well, I tell you, one thing we could do is focus on restoring some of these trees that they tore down. Okay? Because it's a simple concept. A rainforest is made up of trees. And the largest trees in the rainforest make up what they call a canopy. Okay? And why is that important? Well, pertaining specifically to St. Croix, because of the layout of the island. We don't have any high elevation. So an island with a high elevation is able to hold the rain, is able to block the wind, which produces clouds, which then produces rain. So we don't have that. So how did this island have streams and year-round rivers and streams and so on and so forth? It's because there's something you call a microclimate, which in a place that isn't necessarily conducive to having a lush environment could still have a lush environment because of other factors. So the factor here was the lush canopy that was allowed to develop over the millennium, you know, that we could have a stable water table and a stable yearly cycle of full wet and full dry. Like I said, I could remember a time in St. Croix when it rained for 2 days, 3 days straight. And then there was a time in St. Croix where it looked practically like a desert. Okay, so I'm saying we could do things to remedy it. Planting trees is one thing. Okay, we get to that point. But what kind of trees? We can't just plant any tree. So again, using the concept of Sankofa, using the concept of looking to what was before to find a solution to find our footstep into the future. What was here before, I would say there's 5 kings of the forest here as far as trees is concerned. There's the rain tree, which we privileged to be located under, the salmon tree. There's several here, as a matter of fact.
And actually we're in Lagrange.
I don't know if it's possible for you to pan, but you could even see one in the background.
Yeah, definitely one in the background.
Okay, so as far as relevance to what we're talking about, the reason why I mentioned salmon first is because it's the number 1. Right? It's the number 1. It's the water tank of the rainforest as far as our particular microclimate is concerned. Okay, the characteristics of the tree are conducive to the environment. Number 1, it's native, it's indigenous, so of course it's going to be, you know, in harmony with the processes of the island. It's in the pea family. Just to break down a little bit of the scientific information for the people who like that sort of thing. It's in the pea family. So why is that important? That's important because it's what they call nitrogen fixing or soil fixing. In other words, it's a tree that doesn't necessarily need to be fertilized. And a tree that doesn't necessarily need to be fertilized means that it fertilizes itself, which means that it builds up the soil. It doesn't break down the soil. So one of the 5 trees on the list is the opposite of that. So we'll get to it. So it's the reason why salmon is the number one. Number one, it's cohesive, it's indigenous, it's totally in balance with the environment. What it does is that because it's in the pea family, it have a characteristic where it digs its roots deep into the ground as part of the process of giving itself nutrition. And what that does is that it creates an environment where the water table could spread in that area and become even more flourishing. That's why it's considered our water power. It's not takes water from the environment, it's a plant that actually draws moisture and stores it because of the way it grows. Okay, as opposed to the next tree on the list, which is mahogany. It's debatable whether this tree should even be on the list because mahogany actually was introduced from India or from the East. Okay, and everybody knows the use for mahogany. Okay, the reason why they brought it here at first is, there we go. Back up. Okay, so we will getting into this next tree on the list, which is the mahogany. So the reason why it's debatable why it should be considered a king of the forest is because even though there's a native species of mahogany, the species we have here was introduced here. And it's a great tree, meaning that it gets to a large size, so you would think that it does the same purpose as a salmon tree. As opposed to a salmon which is nitrogen fixing or soil fixing, or actually contributes to the soil, actually contributes to the water table because of the way it grows. The mahogany tree is acidic. It's in a different family. So because of the way it grows, it's the opposite. It draws moisture from the environment. It draws moisture from the water table. Okay? And it produces a useful lumber, but in the process, it acidifies the soil around it. So what that means is that it breaks down. So it's a contributor to the degradation of the environment, because if you take down something that was naturally in balance with the environment and naturally holding a balance of water, and then you remove that and put something that takes water, then that's what's going to result in a situation where you break the cycle of streams and the rivers are produced by high mountains, sugar, they get straight to the point. So the use of mahogany is the lumber. We have millions, if not billions of dollars worth of mahogany in these islands. And we know this because the stamp actually did us a favor by removing a good portion of them. And you know, Mother Nature knows exactly what she wants, and she does everything for a purpose. So a lot of those mahogany trees need to be gone. Okay, it might sound harsh, but for our use as a societal use, and practically speaking, I would say if we could find a better use for that space and also have something out of the cutting down of what's there, then I would be all for it. Because what you would replace the mahogany would be the salmon tree.
So let me dive in there for a moment. So I know, yeah, it's like trees you want cut down, some
That's right.
ancient trees.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so where I see we could help in bringing back that moisture, right? Is plant more of these salmon
But
trees.
the common name is the rain tree.
AKA rain
So
tree.
this is what we're talking about.
So that we could have, we won't
So we could have rain.
Yes, so we could have rain, but also rivers, because yes, like we used to. So when I went on a hike with some youths them, and Ras Lidj was our guide, and we went up to Maroon Hill area, and so he showed me that the purpose of this tree, and I was like, really? So I was like, hey, well, if that's the case, we need to plant more of these trees on island, especially East End, so
it gets deep. I mean, it sounds simple, and it really is that simple, but there's more to it than that, of course. So, like I say, I propose something radical sounding to some people. And you mentioned something that's important. You said ancient trees. But are they really ancient? Every single one of those mahogany, or the majority of those mahogany, if you notice, they're in areas where people there are. You don't really find mahogany growing in the wild. And wonder why that is. Now, as opposed to another introduced tree, which is tambran. But see, tambran also come from Africa. So I'm going to hit you with a tidbit that's also of cultural relevance. Tambran, the reason why you will find tambran more common in the wild bush areas in the island, and if you do, you will almost always find one that's ancient. Like you're saying. When you say ancient, that's at least 200, 300, 400 years old, right? Yeah. So the reason why you will find these trees out there in just seemingly random places is because our ancestors had a tradition where one pass away and transition. When they bury the body, they would also plant a tamarind seed with that body.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, so everywhere you see, they say that they have unmarked graves. There's a lot of places where our ancestors when they were done with them, they just have them like, no, but it wasn't really like that. People always think that the ancestors, that's what you want to do. I would consider that an ancient tree because they were planted by our ancestors, as opposed to the mahogany, which was planted by the oppressors. You understand what I'm saying? They were planted for a reason. So I'm saying let's utilize it for its reason.
That's a good observation.
Because there was a time also in St. Croix, when I remember, when we go up and down, traveling up and down on Queen Mary Highway, you couldn't even see the sun because of the canopy. This is the type of memories that bring me to this kind of discussion. Like, why isn't it like that, like how it was? These is things that were part of our identity. You would think that maybe it would be appropriate to say that there's a priority to keep these things if not restored and keep them going. But it's at a point where they need to be restored. Example, what I'm talking about, mahogany, I'm getting on the case of mahogany, but it wasn't just mahogany alone. Up and down center line, there was also coconut. If anyone remember, if anyone been around long enough, if anybody out there is a volcan like me, they would remember it was mahogany and coconut up and down center line road. Now when I say they were planted by the oppressor, they weren't literally planted by no slave masters. Our people did that, but they did it for purpose too. Okay, they call it shade. But besides the topic of mahogany, coconut is also on the tree, on the list of the great trees of the forest. I mentioned 5. Let me make sure I don't go through this discussion without getting to all 5. So there was the rain tree. The mahogany, but we kick it off because he's a foreigner.
Okay.
So Kenneth gone on that list. But we prioritizing Kenneth because Kenneth will take care of himself. You don't need to plan Kenneth. Anybody that come from here know that. You don't plan himself.
Yes.
Yes. But he's doing the work because it's a great tree. It's part of the economy. It's part of it, and it's also providing food
for our use.
But it's a part of the economy because the island. Hopefully maybe starting with center line to bring that into more realistic approach. Because when I talk, people may be thinking, oh, let's go plant the whole island wild. This is not a desert. They do them type of things to restore a desert. But just think about it. Man have reached a point that they could transform the environment in a desert. So why we can't do that here? Knowledge that we know is facts. They just experimenting. They don't know if it's going to work. But I know it's going to work. Because it was, what I'm talking about is putting the island back like how it was before. Came here and mashed it up. Okay, so Saman, Kenneth, Tibet, which is our lumber tree. Tibet is indigenous, but it's also, its main use is a lumber tree for lumber. But for our use, it's also part of the canopy. Okay, it's very similar to the salmon trees in the same family. So the creator knew what he was doing. He put trees of a certain type specifically here because he knew that that's what it was going to take to produce an environment that would be lush and suitable for man who deserved to be here.
Seen.
Okay, because that's another indigenous knowledge that maybe haven't been spread or related to the next generation, is that I has always been a special place. So this is why it's important to me specifically, but it should be important to all of us. You know, if not for anything else, to honor who was here before and to honor their legacy and what they believe. You know, not to get too off topic, but I was a place where it wasn't just any and anybody allowed to be here. Okay, so that's a topic for another time. We'll get to that another time. So back to the list. So Tibet, right? Then we have coconut.
There's a coconut tree.
Okay, so coconut is a temperature gauge for the island, is a barometer for the health of the island. That's its importance in the rainforest. It's also indigenous, so you don't know it's cohesive. It's always been here. But coconut is a temperature gauge. What I mean by that? You know, we just survived a drought. Many droughts, but a very serious drought in the 20 teens, right? But people didn't acknowledge how bad it was until when? Until coconut trees start to drop. So that's something culturally within us. We always know that it's a barometer for the health of the environment. So from time you see coconut trees start to drop like fly, it's trouble. That's how we know a storm coming, because and look how mystic life be again. Look how mystic the Creator be, how much He loves us and care for us, that He even trying to correct our mistakes. That storm came for a reason. Whoever wants to say man-made or human-made or whatever, I don't care. Because Gabby said, when he come, he gonna come in the whirlwind and the storm. So if there's any man make the storm, it's got to be Gabby. What a storm come and do is it come and clean up all of that muck. You notice it don't have no mold problem after, right?
Right.
Between the drought and the storm. Okay, so the drought was a purpose too. The drought was to kill the mold. And then the storm was to wipe everything clean. So the Creator know what He's doing in His infinite wisdom. We just have to tap in to the infinite wisdom, the ancient wisdom.
Okay, so your coconut. Now the last.
So the last king of the forest is again usefulness to man, not necessarily. Okay, I guess the superficial useful man is a K-Pac. Great king of the forest. Our use for the K-Pac is that because of the nature, the characteristics of the tree, it's very light for relative to its size. In other words, the wood is almost like carb. It's for its size is not very dense. It's almost like a sponge. So it's very easy to carve out. So you can get a huge chunk of tree like that and carve it out and make yourself a boat or a canoe. So the original canoes were made from K-Pac trees. But again, relating it to what we're talking about, the restoration of the environment. Listen to what I just tell you. The K-Pac tree is literally a sponge. Literally, let me say it one more time. It's literally a sponge. So besides the salmon tree, K-Pac is the other water tower. It's considered a water tower. It doesn't take water from the environment. It traps it and absorbs it and concentrates it and build up the water table. So any place you find salmon and K-Pac, you don't know the water in that area clean and fresh. This is why these areas in the eastern where the water table is so polluted. This is why you get polluted. Because even says they get polluted if the environment was better balanced, the trees would have taken care of that. And that's what they do. But the poison they're using is so harsh, which is gasoline and kerosene or whatever else. And then the environment is already destroyed. So what you have is perpetual destruction.
Yes, indeed.
So we don't want that. So like you say, even in East End, and for people who don't think it's possible, that's how come I mentioned the desert. And specifically Israel and Sudan. This is not something I'm saying. They're doing these projects in Israel and Sudan where they're restoring areas where it was basically desert and growing food. They could afford to do it, especially in Sudan, because they're right there on the Nile. So they have infinite water. We don't have infinite water. But what we need to do is restore the environment so that we could store and save what we have.
Absolutely. Well, on
so
that
that's the point.
yes. Well, on that note, give thanks, Ras Lidj, for your wisdom. Okay, you say old Kang, but I'll say your wisdom, brother here. And
so there's so many more stories. There's only half I've been told.
okay.
So I'm doing my part to tell some of them that's never been told.
And that's very important, because if people don't know, then they won't have value or show value of what is there around them, and the children especially need to know this type of information, because as we the adults right now, it's almost like preparing a foundation, so to speak, for the children them to build, and then they could just use their creativity to get things done. So we need to definitely share that information, that knowledge with them. So again, I give thanks for your presence
all the time, every time.
On this Saturday UCU Saturday's program.
It's been a long time coming, but everything happened.
Everything happened when it's supposed to happen. I give thanks, and it didn't rain while we're here.
So I would say people take a good look around.
Come out to
LaGrange. Enjoy the green.
Okay?
And think about how we could keep it green.
Absolutely.
That's the point.
And if you want to, come visit LaGrange area, because there are a lot of rain trees.
The water table here is very high.
All of that range over there. I mean, it's so amazing.
So we have to do another program where we talk about why there's so many rain trees. That's how our ancestors work.
Absolutely.
That's the Maroons who do that.
Absolutely.
The reason why we have an annually rainforest, the reason why we even have a remnant of the rainforest is because of the wisdom of our ancestors.
Okay, so definitely people, we're resource. We are a resource. We are natural resources.
We are their
and
legacy. So we
yeah.
need to continue their work.
Yes. So before we go any further, let me wrap up and close and just recognizing community. Okay, I do have on a shirt for a purpose that says, what does it say again? WD for Life Reunion 2022. So focusing on self, family, and community. I have to big up the Williams Delight for Life Committee for pulling off 2022 reunion, and it's going on right now. And hey, when we have a healthy community, and again, big ups to them, there's so much we can accomplish within the community. So they had basketball tournaments, the youths them were out and participating, and then today's family fun day. They're probably wrapping up right now, but again, it's just, if we see the value within each of us, we will help our community. We'll build a better community. So give thanks again to the Williams Delight for Life Committee for doing your part, and that's all we gotta do. Each one do each other's part, and then hey, our community will just grow and become better. Anyway, thank you. See you next Saturday between 4 to 5 Atlantic Standard Time. And remember, whatever you do, do the best. Be the best version of you while you are here, because that's what's needed right now. Do well means thank you. And yes, they're enjoying their self out there. Peace.
Bless you.